In this video, I would like to explain how you can use API management alerts, maybe to integrate the API management system into an existing JIRA system to help you to design and set up approval workflows and that kind of stuff. So first of all, I log in as an API administrator into my API manager. And set up alerts. You can do that here in the settings, and then you have the option to see the alerts. And for that use case, I have enabled, most of all it is, for this use case, I would like to demonstrate to have the front-end API published alert enabled. So this is what I'm going to do in the API manager. That all these alerts are using policies, and the policies are configured in Policy Studio. For that, I have opened that configuration. I go into the server settings, then I have my API manager settings, and over here I see the alerts. And the alert which is now important and I would like to use is the API published, the API proxy published alert, which goes into that policy. And this is what I have changed already a bit by saying create a JIRA issue. And for that, I have created a new policy. And when I look into that policy, I see it is actually looking for an attribute which is injected into the policy. The alert API proxy state should be pending. And we will come to that, what that means and why this is important. And if it is pending, it should go and create an issue. And this is basically the request that should be sent to JIRA. And of course, that could be extended about additional fields, another description, or whatsoever custom fields. That depends purely on the JIRA REST API. Then I go and talk to JIRA by, this is in my case just fixed, to create an issue with that post method, and then I put that content body, which I have created in the previous filter, to JIRA. And then I'm checking if the JIRA issue has been created. That tells me JIRA by the status code 201. And if not, I'm creating an alert, a governance alert, to indicate to the system, hey, there's something wrong, the communication is not working. And when everything is fine, then I say, yeah, that's the alert and that should be okay. So this is now deployed and this is now enabled. So that means it is in place. And now as an organization administrator, I go into the API management solution. So I'm using another window here and say, I'm Alex. Alex is a so-called organization administrator. He has the permission to register APIs, but ultimately, and play around with that APIs, etc. But ultimately, he stays in that unpublished version. So that means organization administrators should not be allowed to immediately publish every API. It should go into some kind of an approval flow. And for that, as an organization administrator, I'm Alex. I'm saying I would like to publish that API now. And when doing so, then I see that the API is changing into a pending approval state. And based on that, I can go, oh, sorry, wrong screen. I can go and email notifications are sent. And let me check where the email notification screen is. This is here. And let me check. As an administrator, now I'm getting a publishing request, which says that the user Alex from the organization API development has submitted a request to publish an API B2B. And now I changed that template a little bit so that this review API button points to my JIRA instance so that I can go into my JIRA system directly. I'm not logged in. Let me just copy that one. Copy and go. This is basically my JIRA system. Here I'm logged in, and now I'm seeing that email or that the task to, there is a request to approve an API, and now you can set up in JIRA any workflow you want to make to comment on that API and finally to approve that API. And JIRA is also capable at the end of the workflow maybe to send to reach out to the API management REST API, and then when the workflow comes to an end, then automatically approve that API instead of going into the API management system as an administrator again, going into the catalog, reload that API, it's pending approval. Again, I'm now logged in as an API administrator and now approve that. What I wanted to say is that this could also be done directly using the API Manager REST API out of the Jira ticket or out of the Jira issue. Okay, this is what I wanted to show. I would like to illustrate a little bit how you can use governance alerts, and there are a number of alerts available that could be used to react on certain events, and that helps you to integrate the system into existing ticketing systems, workflow systems, so that over there you can design and build the workflows you want in your company. Okay, that's all. Thank you.